Hey guys, so it's week 11 and I have the questions for DQ10 this week, so let's get started. Our first topics are to discuss Postman, discuss Shirky, and talk about the journey to the end of Cole against the article that was written. So our first question, define how news media has changed since Postman's 1980s, and do you think that Postman would be as cynical about the media environment that Shirky describes about his own time period? So many things have changed between the Postman text and Shirky text. Since Postman's article in the 1980s, news media has changed a lot. He was criticizing how new media was moving to television and how it was becoming more of an entertainment with the particular faces they needed to create their cast and the music they played throughout the show. He thinks that news on TV is not so much a reality for the viewers. They're not going to go calling someone about a potential threat that they see in the news just as much as they would call a friend about somebody who died during a screening of a play. So he's definitely very, very cynical about the news and how it's being taken to the internet. People who don't even have the degrees to write such news, he would definitely be really cynical about. It's just everyday people that just want to get their opinion out there are talking now to us. And how they can now share it with millions of people. I think he'd be really cynical about that. And he would think that it was even more of a joke now than the people who are being hired to be on TV, because at least the people who are writing those were still professionals. And the people who are now writing on the internet aren't the professionals, and that the news would become a much less serious thing to him. Our second question was about to discuss Shirky's citizen journalism. What are the advantages of citizen journalism over professional journalism, and is professional journalism becoming obsolete? Citizen journalism gets to write about what they believe and think it is important, not just newsworthy. They can report on a topic that the news may have skipped over, and in like the Lot case that we read, bring attention to something that the news skipped over because they didn't call it newsworthy, and it builds up so much attention that it does then become newsworthy because they made something happen out of all their writing. Shirky said that all professional editors belong to the same class, and this gives them a professional bias, so they're all going to think kind of the same way. And because of this, they all follow a suit in what the stories they're going to think are newsworthy, so they all kind of just think the same. In my opinion, professional journalism is becoming obsolete. When I want to look up something in the news, I don't really look to see from what site it's at or who wrote it and the credentials they have. I just read it, and if it's not enough, I find more to read about it until I have a better understanding of it and I'm satisfied. The world is now all joining in on reporting, and they are outnumbering the professionals too, so it's definitely going to become obsolete soon. Our third and last question is, would you consider Journey to the End of Cole to be journalism on par with the article? Why or why not? Which piece did I find to be more successful in communicating information about the situation? So I think I would consider it to be on par with the article because it gave me the sights and the sounds of what it really is like to be at one of these mining sites and what the families are like and the people there. When I was playing the game, though, I got kicked out of the church because he became suspicious of me. So I kind of understood what it was like to be living in a place where they try to keep everything under wraps. It's hard to say for me which piece communicated more information because the article is straightforward and all I have to do is read. The game took me more effort, and I always felt like whenever I was clicking one of the pathways, I was clicking the wrong one, and I felt like I wasn't going to get what I was supposed to know out of it. I think for me, personally, I would say the article, because since I didn't have a great interest in this topic, the article was easier and more straightforward for me to read. All I had to do was read it. The game, I kind of had to have an interest in. I could have played it for I don't even know how much longer, and I just kind of lost interest, and all like talking and the words just didn't really interest me. Though, if I was interested, the game would have been a great experience because I would have been able to see and hear and really kind of experience what was going on in this article. So, my question for you guys is, how many of you actually watch the news or read it on news websites? I usually find out news only if it pops up on my social media or I was told by word of mouth. Like recently, I only saw the new pictures of Kim Kardashian because it was on my Facebook, and then it led me to an article, and then I read about that, and then I actually discussed it with somebody today. So I want to know who actually still turns on the TV or reads the news just out of pure interest to keep up, not because you heard of something happening, just because you want to be that person that tells, hey guys, did you hear about this? So that's what I'm really interested in. And thanks, guys.